Hello, and welcome to the Forex Market Focus Report for Tuesday, September 3, 2013. Today we took a look at Chinese Services PMI, which came in stronger than expected. This has positive implications for the Australian dollar. We also took a look at RBA's interest rate decision from earlier today. The RBA decided to keep interest rates unchanged at 2.5% as expected. RBA Governor Stevens indicated that additional monetary policy accommodation is not expected and said that the effects of past and prior moves will still be felt in the Australian economy. As a result, the Australian dollar is much higher today. We also are going to take a look at Swiss GDP. As you can see, these numbers here came in much stronger than expected, but for some reason the Swiss franc is weaker today. In the UK, we saw a much stronger PMI construction result of 59.1, the strongest in many years. In the Eurozone, we saw stronger than expected PPI, and on the US schedule today, we have construction spending, and we have ISM manufacturing data. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our charts. This is a daily chart of US dollar activity today. We can see it's hugging the blue horizontal zero line, so there's not really too much happening, too much direction in the US dollar. Moving over to the Euro daily indicator, we can see that the Euro has been way below this horizontal blue line for several days. In fact, it's been since August 23rd. The Euro is off sharply today. We can see the Japanese yen is also below the blue zero horizontal line, which indicates that the yen is weaker today. The British pound, after being above the blue line for several days, has moved below. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at some charts for that. The Swiss franc is also trending lower, as seen by its location below this zero blue line on this horizontal basis here. The Australian dollar is, on this daily chart, significantly above the zero line, indicating that the Australian dollar is trending higher today. The Canadian dollar, as you can see, has been quite weak recently. However, on this daily activity chart, you can see the indicator is positive, and we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at a Canadian dollar chart in a moment. The New Zealand dollar is right around the blue horizontal line. There's not much trend to the New Zealand dollar today. Let's go ahead and take a look at 5 cross rates based on what we just looked at with each currency's activity today. Here we see a chart of the Euro-Australian dollar cross rate. We can see that it has moved lower for 5 consecutive days. In today's activity, it breached this yellow trend line on its move lower, and it took out this important 145.83 support line. Our next move lower, we would expect possibly to around the 144.46 level. We can see that today's intraday high is also right around a moving average. The euro is weaker across the board. This happens to be a chart of the euro-sterling cross rate. On this daily chart, we can see that the euro-sterling moved below the important 84.64 retracement level here. Then it moved higher, and right now it's right around this key level. If it continues to move lower, we would expect a test of this longer 84.09 support level corresponding to a retracement from a wider range. And below that, we would look for a test of the 83.92 area. On the sterling yen cross rate daily chart, we can see that the intraday high corresponds with a test of an uptrend line that started back here, this yellow uptrend line. We can see that the cross rate is above and at its highest level in quite some time here. It moved above this 154.94 resistance level that it tested yesterday, and then it came off. Above this level, we would expect technical resistance right around the 156.70 area, and we would expect some technical support right around the 153.52 area. This is based on some Fibonacci extension analysis. Another interesting chart is the Australian dollar against the Swiss franc cross. We can see yesterday's price activity as indicated by this blue up arrow. The Aussie Swiss tested a very key support level around the 83.04 area and then moved higher. It's approaching this yellow downtrend, this yellow trend line. We'll see if it tests that. In today's activity, it tested this key 84.73 area and then came off to another resistance level around 84.51 that it broke later in the day. Above this area, we would expect this cross rate may test the 85.17 and then the 85.67 area. The final cross that we want to keep an eye on today is Euro Canadian dollar. We mentioned earlier that the euro is quite weak today, and the Canadian dollar, surprisingly, is strong on an intraday basis. We can see that the euro has moved lower relative to the Canadian dollar for quite a few days. Today, the Euro-Canada cross rate tested key support around the 138.58 level. If we break below this level, we would expect a test down to 138.24 and possibly as low as 137.75 in the short term. It's apparent that this cross rate may have some more room to move. We thank you for watching our video report of our Forex Market Focus. Thank you.